This right there.
Looks good. Now I'm going to show you exactly where to put it too. Now before we go any further, I want to show
Mhm.
you how to extend this area right here. We're going to pull this down so we can see the long list of that history. And then
Yeah,
let's
that's what
all. Mm-hmm.
I've been trying to figure it.
Yeah, go ahead and pull it down, and then I'll show you how to put your layers over there too.
Okay.
And I don't even see them right now, so let's do this. Let's go to window,
Go to what?
window up here at the top. I'm
Oh,
circling
okay.
it.
Um,
Mm-hmm. And then go to layers.
okay.
All right. So see that's what you need to see exactly what you're working on. And then we're gonna take this tab and we're gonna drag it right over here to where history goes. Now, did you happen to right click it? Because you just want to regular click and drag it.
On this laptop, I don't know what's
Are
this.
you using the tracker
Yeah.
pad instead of a mouse?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of those pains right there. So I'm gonna suggest you get you a little, even if it's an inexpensive little wired mouse, like
Okay.
the old school one that plug in USB. You can get them from
Yeah, I got a computer. I thought maybe my desktop. I ordered a desktop. So I thought maybe that was gonna be here before we start, but
Look
you know
at
how.
you, just upgrading. Go ahead. I'm
Yeah.
proud of you. But no, even I think I get a few of those mice. They're like I get them for like $1.50, $2
Okay.
from Goodwill. And I always, because here's the deal, I use wireless mice all the time, right? And if I
Mm-hmm.
just so happen to be on the road or working from the house, or whatever, and I don't have a battery, then I'm SOL. So I keep
Mm-hmm.
those little wired ones. Like I have a set of like six of them that I got for like $10. And
Okay.
yeah, I just because I have at least four different computers that I might be using at any time, and then I could just go around with my little old school plug mouse and keep it moving. Um,
Oh,
but yeah, trying to do Photoshop with a tracker pad is gonna drive you crazy. I don't know if you're like me, but my pinky stays stuck up in the air, like I'm super
mhm.
fancy or something.
That's how mine. I'm always clicking on some.
Right. So and yeah, it's not a fun thing. But yeah, so if you can get a mouse, that's gonna be your best friend. And then if you can have dual screens set up, that's gonna be your second best friend for learning on one screen and performing on the other screen.
Okay.
But yeah, for one-on-ones, we don't need two screens, so we're good right now. All right, so
Okay.
I want you to try this again. We're going to find the layer. Oh, you did it. You have
Yeah.
layers. And let me see where it went though, because this is not. Okay, so right now layers is just kind of floating by itself. You want to lock it
Mm-hmm.
in over here, so go ahead and put it over here. Pick the same tab up and put it right there. I know what it is. It's that doggone mouse tracker. Okay, so try this
Oh, yeah.
again. We want it over here to where it's gonna show the long way. So you want a regular click and
Oh
put it
shit.
right there.
Man, I done closed it out.
It's okay. In order to find it, go back to window.
Oh, and go to layers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep, you got it. And then we're gonna save this setup so that you'll know, next time you open it, if it doesn't look like you want it to look, we'll have this saved. So go ahead and
Thank you.
pull it, and it'll kind of highlight right in one of these areas.
Did I do it? Okay. Well, I'm gonna bring
No,
it over there.
it dropped it back over here.
Right here.
Yep, right there. Let it go. Drop it like it's hot. Perfect. Okay, so that's your layers icon. If you ever don't know where it is and you're like, I don't see my layers, you can always go back to window layers and it'll pop it out for you, okay?
Okay.
So now go ahead and click on that layers. I want you to see what it looks like. See how now we can see the full length of the layers and we don't have it in a
Mm-hmm.
little tiny window? That's going to help
Thank you.
us with finding what we're looking for. All right.
Okay.
So now that we have layers open, go ahead and hold down Control, press 0, and it's going to zoom into the extents of the artboard. There you go. All right, so we're going to take this image and we're going to drag it down to where the original photo was. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I want you to take this and I want you to just keep dragging it until you see, I think it says photo, and I'll tell you. Let's see here. Not your photo.
Ain't gonna tell what I did. I probably done
Oh, yeah, I
delete.
think you just deleted it, but it's okay. Go ahead and put it right here, and then we'll be able to tell. So drop it right here where I'm drawing this pink line.
Oh, I let it go too quick. Let's see. Right there.
All right, so we're gonna pull it right behind. Uh-oh,
Uh-uh.
my little line doesn't matter anymore. Let's pull it up above. So you have back wings and you have forward wings, right? So
Mm-hmm.
as you can tell, your layers, it matters where you place your image because it's kind of like a stack of cards. You know, you have things on top, middle, bottom. All right, so we're
Okay.
going to take this image and we're going to bring it above our back wings. So the front wings look like it's kind of encasing her shoulders. The back wings kind of fill it out from behind. So pull that one up to above layer 14.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I might have my mouse activated if you need me to use it. If the tracking pad is bothering you too much, just let me know and I can drag it for you.
Yeah, do it for me. Oh,
Okay.
that me? That's you.
Let's see. Is that me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yep. So I'm dragging it and see how now it's in front of one wing, but not in front of the other. So I got to bring
Mm-hmm.
it in front of that other back wing. So see where it says wings behind?
Mm-hmm.
I can bring it in front of that whole folder that says wings behind and it'll be in front of both wings.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to make it a little bit larger just
Okay.
because we're going to fade off those shoulders. See how when you make it larger, it looks like the wings encase her shoulders?
Mm-hmm.
And then if you have images where it cuts off the shoulders, you don't even have to worry about that anymore. Only thing we're going
Mm-hmm.
to worry about is fading off the bottom of the image there.
Cool.
That's it. And then pretty much that'll be it. That'll be done. So let's go ahead. I'm going to let you do that. And I know it's going to be hard to do it with the mouse tracker, but I at least want you to try this, okay?
Okay, I
All
got it.
right, so we're going to add a layer mask because we want to fade this off at the bottom, but we don't want to delete pixels. We just want to show and hide pixels, okay? So this, let me turn my marker back on. Okay, so right here, that's
Who
our
you?
new layer. I'm circling in pink down here at the bottom of the layers. You see me?
Mm-mm. Oh, okay. There you
There we
go.
go. Yeah, I try to do something to draw your attention. Okay, so that one is created a new layer. So do you see that white layer that it created? I
Mm-hmm.
just did it again. Do Control Z to undo that. Okay,
Okay.
so it created this little white image here. Now, what that means is kind of like a screen or a frame, right? White's going to
Mm-hmm.
reveal everything, and black is going to conceal whatever you color onto that layer. So
Mm-hmm.
we're going to color black down here at the bottom so that it conceals or it covers up, excuse me, covers up the bottom of the image. Now, in
Okay.
order to make sure we have black, we're going to come look right here. You see where I'm drawing this arrow? So we
Mm-hmm.
have white and black. Those are default. And if you click this little one right here, uh-oh, what just happened? That wasn't something I did, was it?
That was something I did. I
Okay,
don't
let's
know.
do this. Let's bring this in a little bit because you don't need all of this for this the patterns, colors, and all that. Let's bring that in so you have more design area. There you go. Is it letting you do it?
For sure.
Hold on. Let me see if maybe I can do it better with the mouse. Hold on. I don't know that it's letting me do anything right now.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like, uh-oh. I think it might be the internet connection because it's got like a delay. Like I'm seeing some of the functions, but let me see. I just moved that, but it didn't move.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll just have to go with it as is. Now, if it's something that's really hard for you to do because you don't have a mouse, let me know and I'll do it for you. But for the most part, you should be able to click and do everything with your mouse pad. I mean, with your tracker pad. All right. So,
I do it.
okay. So I guess it just did it, but it took it a little
Yeah, I
while.
had just did it on.
Okay.
Okay.
Now
Took a
something's
mess.
weird here.
Oh no.
You're missing the bar. There's supposed to be a bar where you can scroll up and down. It's missing right now. Go ahead, do me a favor, do file save as. Because normally when I see stuff like this, it means Photoshop's glitching and we might have a problem. So save as, and then just save it. Go to don't show again here.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have to keep telling it you don't want to save to the cloud, and then you can save on your computer.
Mm-hmm.
And just save it as whatever you want to save it to remember that.
Okay.
All right, perfect. And then what I'm going to ask you to do is go ahead and close out of Photoshop, and we're going to open it back up because it's doing something a little funky right now, and I want to make sure that that you see all your functions. Now, if it tells you it's saving, you can hit OK. It'll finish saving before it closes if you tell it to. So
Okay.
just let it completely close out, and then go ahead and close out any other program or browser that you're using. Even these open folders, we'll just go ahead and close them out. So then that way nothing's competing with Photoshop.
Okay. Yeah, no. Yeah. I don't know what's going on with this thing. Okay. We need to open back up Photoshop.
Okay. Is it something that's like trying to open up through your website, or I mean through your browser, your web browser?
I think it's like a security alert.
Uh, do you want to proceed? You probably want to hit no. And sometimes things like that hanging up in the background will kind of slow you down too. So the more you can close out, and like Photoshop is a real jealous kind of program. It likes to be the only thing open and working, especially on any kind of standard system. Even on high graphics system, like I have a high graphics computing laptop, and it'll start breathing hard if I open up Facebook while I'm working on Photoshop.
Mm. Close out. Okay.
All right, so let's go ahead and open that image up. You should see it right there as your one of your recents.
Yep. It still look a mess. Let's see. I don't know what I did to the
No,
layer.
I see your functions now. So now what we want to do, hold down Control and press 0, and it's going to zoom in to the extent of the image.
Okay.
There you go. And everything else, yeah, I can still see the image. I was just concerned that you saw more menu over there to the right than you could see on your image. Okay, so we're going to come over here to the left side,
Mm-hmm.
and you see this is where your foreground color is here, your background color is there. All right, we need the foreground color right now to be black. And the way that we do that, there's this default little swatch here. You have to go cancel there. You see where I'm circling this default swatch? Hit that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then it will either bring black or white to your forefront. And right now, black is in the foreground. That's what we need, right?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and let's select a brush tool here.
Okay.
So select that brush tool. We're going to make sure we have a soft round brush. So click here at the top.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll just select one of these soft round brushes. It's one of your default brushes. So you'll always see a soft round brush. And I want you to put in 300 pixels right here. Okay, and then hover over your artboard. And I want you to
Mm-hmm.
see, does it show you, we need to also make sure that we have the mask selected and not the photo. So you see over here on the layers panel, select that white mask right there. Just click on it right there. Okay. And now I want you to hover over the image.
Mm-hmm.
And it should preview like a circle, like an outline circle. The outline circle gives you an idea of, okay, you want to hit cancel. I think you might have double clicked instead. So well, you got to let this finish going and then we're going to hit cancel.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, you see how big that brush is? It looks like we need it a little bit bigger. So go back to your size and I want you to type in, let's do 700. And this is just me arbitrarily guessing. All right, so now hover back over your image. You see how now it's a little bit bigger? So if you come to the bottom of the image here and you start sweeping it across the bottom, just like if you were spray painting something, you come from all the way from the outside. You don't start in the middle of something spray painting, right? You start from the outside and you wisp it left to right around it, okay? And I don't know if it's doing, I don't think it's doing anything. Are you clicking down on the mouse or on the trackpad? Oh, here it goes. Apparently, look, when we selected on the mask, see how it's painted white? So basically, you're painting white. We want to switch this. So here, hit the switch.
Okay, switch.
And it's going to switch black to the foreground. And now start painting. Just do one swoop right now. See what happens. And let it go. For some reason, it's not updating your preview. And are you clicking down on the mouse while you're moving it left to right?
Yeah.
Okay, let me see if I can try it for a second. Let me turn into mouse mode and if this is the case, then I'm going to tell you it's more than likely Photoshop on your system because what's happening is it's not previewing what it's actually doing, which is usually a sign that it doesn't have enough computing power to show you what it's working on. So what I would suggest in that case, if you file, save what you're working on, and you reopen it, it'll probably update those changes just like it just did. But that's just going to be an issue that I know you said you have your new computer coming in. That's probably uh, that was going to be my suggestion is that either the system can't handle the Photoshop or it needs to be optimized. So you might have to clear some things off. You might have to contact Photoshop. You have the subscription, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, contact Photoshop and say, hey, it's not working properly on my system, and they'll let you know whether whether the system is really going to be able to support the program, and they'll even help you optimize it. So this is not showing, and I think it's because of the Photoshop with the system. But let's go ahead, let's go to File Save, just to make sure that we can save what we're working on. And I want you to close out Photoshop and open it back up and see if that helps.
Mm.
And go ahead, yeah, close out of Facebook too. Anything like that will slow the resources of the computer because we're already on Zoom and Facebook, and that's already really taxing. I mean, not Facebook, but Photoshop. So anything else that you don't need open, like silhouette programs, all that other stuff, I don't know if you use any of those, but just don't let Photoshop compete with anything. And yeah, I think that might be something kind of like what they call like spam malware, something like that, that's popping up.
Okay.
Okay. So let's try this again. Now that we've refreshed it by opening it, hit cancel. You don't want to rasterize. If you ever see that, normally that means that it's trying to take the image and make it something that you can paint on. So hit cancel. We want to be painting on the layer mask and not the actual photo. So make sure you have the layer mask selected.
Okay.
Right here.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The layer mask is right here. There you
Okay.
go. And now try to paint on there and see what happens.
We're supposed to turn another color.
It's supposed to fade away. Like I said, something's going on where your Photoshop is not displaying what you're actually doing. And unfortunately, it probably means that we won't be able to do what we need to do today. So if you want to reschedule once you get the other computer, that's probably going to be best because this right here, what it's doing right now, is actually just not working. It's not doing what it's supposed to be doing. Um,
Mm.
so the most that it may let you do is maybe edit the text, but yeah, it's not letting you do any of your layer masks, or we can try to change the text effects and see if that will work.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is basically just a Photoshop issue. It's not able to run on this computer like this.
Okay.
Let me ask you this: is this something that you need to get done like within a certain time period,
No. Mm.
like before your computer comes in and you get that set up?
No. I'm good. It's
Okay.
not.
Because I would say if it's if you need it, and then I can help you, or I can even let you try to run it on my computer. Like you can send me the files, I can run it on my computer, but it's gonna take up more time because it's just like me trying to control the system from your computer. It's gonna have that
Mm.
lag. So
Okay.
my suggestion would be just to reschedule whenever there's the resources on the computer that can handle the Photoshop program. Um, I wish we didn't have to do it like that because I was excited about you getting able to get this in today.
Me too. In the
there's,
car.
there's always something, huh? When
Yeah.
do you expect your computer to be in?
Probably in a couple hours.
Oh, a couple hours. So
Mm-hmm.
so let's do this then. Don't sound so sad. I thought it was gonna be like a couple weeks or something.
No.
So I'll make time for us to reschedule because I'd rather you get the full extent of the session and have a good experience. Okay, so let's
Okay.
do this. Once you get it like set up, ready to go, you make sure because it's gonna take some time to put Photoshop on that computer too. Um, so once you get Photoshop up and loaded on that one, give me a heads up, and then we'll just reschedule some time, even if it has to be late tonight. Okay,
Okay.
and we'll get it. We're gonna get it done. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, love. So, I'm gonna go live. Exactly what you were asking to do, which is to turn a 13 by 19 into an all over. I have to do
Mm-hmm.
that for a customer. So,
Okay.
if you want to watch that live, I'll be doing that. Just so that you have an idea what we'll be doing later for your project as well.
Okay. So you want me to email you?
Yeah, email me and just whenever you're ready, just say, "Hey, you got the computer set up. Let me know what's a good time for you." And like I said, we'll stay up late if we have to.
All right. I surely appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am. You're welcome, my love. And let me know if you need anything in the meantime, okay?
All right. Thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome, love.
All right.
Bye bye. All right, loves, and that's something that's not uncommon. It's not as common, but it's good to know. That's why I say open up those Photoshop templates even before a class and make sure that it's going to work. Now, she was able to open the images fine, but what happens is, and she's not the only one. I've had it happen a couple times that I've seen one-on-ones where we have an issue of basically you don't see certain functions work, and Photoshop is trying to work but it can't display something if it doesn't have the appropriate RAM or graphics processor, that sort of thing. So Princess, you messaged me on a personal. Yeah, message me on the if you need to message me to where I actually have help answering the messages. Definitely message either the business Facebook page or the what's the other one? Business Facebook page or And you can always message Erica too, because she's usually the person that's gonna catch the messages first, and then let me know if it's something that I need to handle. So she's kind of like this superwoman triage type of situation. Let me see. I'm going to switch screens for a second. Let me go to my XSplit. And we're going to get our Photoshop on. Oh, so just for those of you who are here, I just did a video real quick on the SOC class. So I will be doing 3 versions of that class. I did just fix the Zoom link, so I'm going to go ahead and update that. But we're doing 1 p.m. tomorrow, because some people ask to do something during the day because they want to use up their daytime energy, and they don't necessarily have to be at anybody's job. So daytime energy is best for them. We're going to try that out. So 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's going to be 10 a.m. Pacific Time, and then we'll do another one Thursday. My West Coast folks asked for me to do something late night so that they can do after hours, after work. So it's going to be 7 p.m. Pacific Time, which is 10 p.m. my time. But I'm going to hang, I'm going to stay up and see how that works out for you all. And then Saturday is pretty much 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Pacific Time. We should be able to pull together on that. So I'm going to see how this format works. I'm always experimenting, trying to see what works out best for y'all. But we'll be doing 3 versions of the class. Same class, though, so don't come to all of them unless you just really want to do the work over and over and over again. That's on you. But with it, when you purchase this class, you'll have the option for all 3 of those courses. So whichever Zoom session you want to attend. And I want to see how that works out for you all. I listen to you all. I really do try to incorporate the things that you want to see and learn. So I am all for improving the process. Okay, so right now I'm working on a design that we're going to have to do and make a all over version from a 13 by 19 version. Now I have several videos where I do this, but I'm going to go ahead and do it live. So let that Photoshop open. Let me close out some of my stuff. Let me follow my own advice. Close out of these extra programs. And I'm going to go ahead and is it pulling up? Oh, it pulled up down here. Let me pull it up here. All right, so the design that we're working on is this one. And we're going to modify the design first. So I think the customer wanted some red in there. Let's see what kind of red this is. Looks like we just changed the color there. So I'm going to go and change it as a color overlay. Then choose normal. If you ever see this little exclamation point, it usually means that it's a very difficult color to produce. So if you click on that exclamation point, it will find the next closest color that it can produce. That is, it's usually called the gamut. So it's within gamut, within the printing parameters of whatever system is trying to mimic the the screen colors for. So if I choose a really extreme color, it's going to tell me, hey, it's probably this is a warning. This is out of gamut for your printing preferences. And this is set up by, you usually are going to tell it what printing profile you're using, and it'll kind of guess what colors are going to be hard for it to produce. So anytime you have these really, vibrant, very bright colors, most of the time you're going to see this warning. And if you click on the warning, it's going to bring you down to an alternate color that may visually appear about the same, but it's at least within the printing gamut, so you're not, setting yourself up for failure. So that's a tip that I don't get to talk about often, but it is definitely pertinent. So I'm doing a color overlay. Let me put a stroke because I can't really see. Let's go with a little bit darker. I'm just trying to fatten this text up just a little bit. And let's see, let's do white. I'm testing out whether I want to do white or an actual, like the same color. I think the white is helping it stand out with that drop shadow. Here we go. And I just did an inner bevel. This inner bevel is giving it a little bit more of like a 3D look with a shadow in there, and just makes it pop out a little bit more to me. So I'm actually taking a customer edit. This is from Carol. Matter of fact, let me message Carol, let her know that I'm doing this so she can chime in if she wants to. Oh, okay. So for the side class, let me give y'all the link for that. Matter of fact, hold on. I'm trying. I don't multitask well, so let me message my love here. Uh, the art is correct, and I'm gonna give her the link to the live stream right now. All right, so red, and then we're going to change the text up top to red. So hopefully Carol can see this so she'll know in the future. This is her template, and she sent it to me. She put the photo in here. She even faded off the edge there, so I'm proud of Carol. She's taken a couple of the Innate Academy classes, so she's doing her thing. And then she got a little bit stuck on how to make this an all-over design, so I'm helping to do that. And then my suggestion was to change the colors here, which she wasn't sure how to do, so I'm going to demonstrate that as well. So let's go ahead and click on the effects here, and it's got a gradient overlay, and instead of replacing it, I'm going to hit this plus sign. It gives me a new gradient overlay, and then that way I don't feel bad about saving over something. So I'm going to choose one of these reds. And then I'm probably going to end up flipping it. And right now we're getting a little bit lighter version of it. I'm going to make it transparent down here. And the way that you do that is, let's go ahead and delete that color stop and this color stop. So I have black towards the end. I'm going to select up here to the top, sets your opacity. So the bottom sets the color stop, what color you actually want it to be. The top sets the opacity. So I'm going to set this to 0 opacity because I want it to fade off into being transparent. And then I want my 100% opacity to kind of drop off where that black is. And I'm going to say okay. And the opacity, I'm going to make it 100%. All right. And then, let me see. I'm going to drop like a diamond plate. I told her that truckers like to use like that, kind of metallic finish, the diamond plated stuff. So we're going to look up diamond plate background. And if you're wondering what that looks like, this is what that looks like. I'm going to look for a good, nice, clean, shiny one. Right click, open image in a new tab. I do that just so I make sure it's not going to have watermarks. Save image as. I'll save it. And then I'm going to bring that right into my Photoshop. Drop it like it's hot. And then I'm going to replace, I don't know if it's going to be top or the bottom. I think it's going to be the bottom because I already have a little chrome up there. So we're going to see. So the word trucking, I'm going to right click and create a clipping mask so that it clips inside of the text there. And then I'm going to flip my gradient. So go back to my effects and my gradient overlay. I'm going to hit reverse there. And then I have a couple of options. I can fade it off with the gradient tool, or I can use my brush. I'm going to use the gradient tool just to keep it consistent. Add a layer mask to that, and let's do, oh, I got to make sure I have black selected because black is going to conceal, white reveals. Here we go. And then that's a different version of trucking. I'm going to get rid of that one. And here, let me see. I want to take the existing color of trucking, make sure it's clean. If I turn this off, I still see some yellow there. So it's probably because I have the old gradient on there. So I don't want that yellow to show through because I want to bring back my diamond plate, but I don't want it to be so opaque. So I'm going to turn down the opacity here. So it just looks like it's just barely there. And then I'm thinking where this black is, it's kind of a little too stark for me. So I'm going to go back and change my gradient. So now maybe I delete that. And maybe I'll put a nice like gray right here instead. Here we go. And so for some reason, this red is looking a little not as bold as I want it to look. Make sure my opacity is turned all the way up. It's on normal. Looks good. So that's it there. If I want to change the colors of the clouds or anything, I can. I know I have that yellow back there. It doesn't look bad, but I don't like to put red in the clouds and stuff if I don't have to. I like for the clouds to look natural. Like I will change them to like purples and pinks and things like that to make it more extreme. But I think for something like this, they wanted a more, simple, clean look, but it still adds that red. So let's see. Let's see if Carol's here with us now. Oh yeah, I see. I got sidetracked again. I told you I was going to give you the site for the sock class. So let me close out of this and let's go to Firefox. Uh-oh, this computer started breathing hard. And then I'm just gonna make sure I update. So the live interactive courses are gonna be here. Anything that's upcoming that's live. So this is academy.innatelab.com. And I'll put it in the description or the chat over here. All right, so that's the class that we're going to start tomorrow. And as a matter of fact, I need to update. What do I need to update? I'll show you what the course looks like. So this is how we're going to start doing our courses. I got real serious about, how the modules look, how it really operates. I want us to feel like real class. I've taken enough courses online and in person to know, what a course is supposed to look like, and how it's supposed to function for you. So let's see. You'll have a quiz that you'll have to do prior to the session. You'll have the checklist that has a Zoom link in it. Okay, so that's where the Zoom link is going to be. And then you also have the template that you're going to download for this session. So pretty much every time you do a class, you're going to get something that you would normally have to pay for, like a template or fonts or brushes, something to that effect, so that it really has extreme value in each of these courses. And what we're learning to do, which is create our own patterns, that in and of itself is something that you'll be able to use, time and time and time again. Okay, so that's what we're doing. When we're doing a session Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday, and then I will retire that course and then do a new course. Okay. So I'm excited. This one's going to be fun. And then I'm also going to do a video showing you how to press them. Now that one I'm going to make available to everybody. It's going to be free on YouTube. Hopefully I can do that this evening. I'm going to show you all my print methods. So one is a taco method, and then the other one is I print front first, roll the edges, then press back. So a lot of people have some questions on that. I'm just going to, kind of do that at once so that you have that information. And then you'll also know how to, once you finish editing the template, how to press it. All right, let me check on Carol, see if she is online and able to give me her design feedback. Alright. And she was pretty much just good with me leaving it as is, changing those words to red. I just wanted to make certain. So now I'm going to do it as an all over shirt. So let's do what I would expect you to do, which is to grab your free all over template. And this one is technically going to be up to a 5X. So this is my opportunity to show you all, if you had to do a 5X, 4X, 5X, what to do. So let's go to the blank templates. I'm going to open up the standard size one, and then I'm also going to open up the 4X, 5X so you can see the difference. Now, I haven't finished cleaning up the 4X, 5X template right now. It's basically just your vapor template. I usually do a lot more work to make it, make it look neat like this, and something that that you can use to kind of just block out anything beyond it. But now you get to see how I do that. Let's see, we're going to start with the 5X. And I'm going to make sure that this image size, okay, so it's still 150 dpi. Let me show you the difference between the image size for a 5X. So this 5X with the bleed is a 53, or I'm going to go ahead and call it 54 by 40. So understand that when you print 4X's and 5X's, it can't go on that 36 by 44. You have to turn it the other way, and it takes up more paper. So this ends up printing on a 44 by 55, and it also it can't roll up into a 36-inch roller. Now you have to put it into a taller package. So these bigger shirts, you definitely want to charge more for. The 5X, the 4X and 5X shirts are more expensive. The prints are more expensive, and the shipping is more expensive because the shirts are heavier, and the roll paper, the roll media has to be longer or wider in order to accommodate the size. So there'll be a lot of people they just won't offer 4X's and 5X's because you can get up to a 3X on that 36 by 44. But I will tell you this, and this is something I explained to someone else yesterday. Not offering it is pretty much what everybody does. So offering it does let you stand out. And then when you have a 4X or 5X customer, some of you may be able to attest to this, and they know that you carry their size, they will be a customer for life. Like they're always going to be looking forward to doing business with you because they know that you're going to look out for them and have their size. And most of the time, they don't mind paying extra. They're not the ones that are going to be cheap. Oh, can I get a $20 shirt? They know ain't no $20 shirts for 4X, 5X. Okay, so I want you to keep that in mind when you're deciding what to offer. Now, what you can do is I do put either longer lead times, or I charge a lot more for the shirts because it does take me out of my my ordinary printing zone, my ordinary pressing zone. Like I have to press more, I have to print more, I have to change up the way I operate with the bigger sheets. So I do charge for that inconvenience of having to switch modes. But most of the time, if somebody's ordering 4X's and 5X's, they're willing to pay for that. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Don't always cut something off just because it's a little more difficult. That those may be the customers that'll stick with you for life. All right, so what I'm going to do here, I'm going to see how I want to do this. I'm going to grab just this outside area. That's all I need. So outside area here. And, oh, I'm on the other layer. I want to be on layer 1. So deselect. I'm going to grab all of this, get my lasso tool, and I'm on the add to my selection mode. So my addition selection. So I'm adding all of this extra to this current selection. And then what I'm going to do is just create a quick layer where I'm just going to fill that in with, more than likely, with white. Grab my paint bucket tool, just fill that in. That way, if I drop anything below here, so let's do layer, new fill layer. I'm going to do a gradient. And I'm just picking any color right now. Oh, I had that selection there. So I'm going to deselect. Actually, I'll just delete that layer mask. So you see I have my white layer on top. I have a gradient layer underneath. And then I'm going to move these to the top. And then I'm going to bring this over. So I need to unlock these real quick. And I'm going to show you the difference between printing the up to the 3x versus printing the 4x, 5x. And then maybe I'll finally get this template together for y'all. See that? So let me close out of this without saving. And now I have to turn, well, maybe I'll leave that one on. So that's my keep on for printing. That's only for up to 3x. And really and truly, this is still going to be up to 3x. And then this will be my 4x. So we'll do 4x, 5x. And we can clearly see, look at the difference in those sizes. Even the difference between the 3x and the 5x. You also see that shirts don't get exactly the same amount of inches wider and taller just because it gets bigger. So you have to be aware of that you just don't take something from one size and just scale it up and it's going to fit everything else. So that's why I try to bring it in on my up to my 3x, keep my text and photo safe area the same size, and then I just add extra image to the bottom and the sides to fill out the 3x's up to the 5x's, because I want to make sure that when I design something, I can design it once. I don't like to rescale my image just for a different size shirt. It's a lot of extra work, and if you're doing different variations of the same design, like maybe mom wants her name on this one, dad wants his name on that one, it's just too much. So I try to keep it simple. Keep it simple, sublimators. All right, let me see. I got one contact in right now, so I'm over here struggling. Let me see. I want to make sure we're doing the bigger one. And see, this 4x and this 5x is so little difference, and so I'm just going to design for the 5x. And so 4x is the green, 5x is the purple. I'm going to go ahead and label that 5x. And I just have a color overlay on it right now just to let me know which one is which. If y'all have any questions, whenever I'm doing these lives like this, as long as I'm not doing a one-on-one session, I can look down and see if y'all have any questions and chime in. Hey, Veronica. Good to see your name. All right, so back to business. I'm gonna turn on my guide here. And let's go ahead and bring in this image. So if indeed this image is what it needs to be completed, I can take this whole image by grouping it. I can pull it into my new template, and I'm going to make this an all over version. And you can obviously see that it's going to have some part of the image that we'll need to kind of clean up a little bit. But for the most part, I'm trying to keep the photo and the text inside of my photo and text safe area. So that's about it there, maybe a little bit smaller. I'll hit enter there. All right, so now I have everything, including some stuff that I don't want. Like I definitely want to clean that up. So let's see, that is image here. I'm going to clean that up. I'm painting on top of the image. I want to do a layer mask. And then we're going to use black to conceal. And I like to use the shortcut of Control Alt, make it bigger, and just clean that up. All right. And let's see, we can also take off this white layer. We don't need that. And my gradient at this point, I think I'm going to pick maybe gray. And then fade it to white. All right, so this is technically just a 13 by 19 on the shirt with the gradient background. So in order to make this a little more dynamic, I'm going to play with this background now. And also, I'm going to fade up here a little bit on this background. So Control T allows me to transform. Now keep in mind, I'm designing this all the way up to a 5x. So in just a minute, I'm going to take off my 3x guides. Well, up to 3x guides. Or I can just make them I'll make it multiply. That way I don't see that white around it. Right, and obviously I have a little bit of area where I have this cleaned off on the edges because I like to make sure that it's not going to print any kind of hard lines. So I have a layer mask here. So I'm going to disable that layer mask. Then I have another one here. I'm going to disable that layer mask so I can have that continuous sky there. And then here, I'm just going to Control T and transform that sky until it reaches from one side of the shirt to the other. And you can see how this will make a big difference on a small to medium shirt versus a 5X. You see a 5X, I have a lot of extra room down here. All right, and so if I am to turn off the 3X now, I can kind of see what I would end up keeping for the 5X. So you have the sky background, you still have the same image here. You don't want to bring your text too far out because we're going to be using this same design to print smaller shirts, like smalls, mediums, all the way up to 5Xs. So I like to keep my text in tight. For 5Xs, you can make it look more substantial by making the words bigger and basically resizing all of the elements of the design to make sure that that it looks bigger on a bigger shirt. But honestly, it just looks like a bigger billboard. So it's it's not that it's going to give you a better effect just because the images are bigger. Hey, Carol. Oh, you been here? Oh, you just figured out how to chat. That's my girl. All right, Carol. Okay, so I'm glad you're here now. All right, I'm just talking. I don't know how long you've been chatting down there, but I'm glad to see you here. All right, so Carol, give me some idea of, I know you just said the only requirement that they had is that the text they wanted to have red. Okay. So do we want to add any other elements. So, because we can add other elements of red, other elements of, oh, you know what? Let me try this. You know, I just like to do a little randomness every now and then. Bring this opacity up. I'm trying to figure out something to do to fill out the design to make it look, you know, really original, unique. I don't like how this is burned out here, so I'm going to, what am I going to do? Let me turn on or turn down the opacity, and I'm going to see if I can match this print up, and then that way I'll get rid of the darker area, because I want to repeat this, and this is not a seamless, but that's what we're learning in class with the sock pattern. We're going to create a seamless pattern. And so we're going to make this look like it's seamless right now. I still have my little fade off up top. So now I'm going to create a little fade off here on the side. And I'm just going to do it with my brush. Bring that opacity back up. That looks better to me. I can always disable the layer mask. See how I got rid of that dark area? And let's enable it. There we go. Now, if it took away too much, you'll start to see the other side. I think this is good. And plus, we're not going to be printing this well, we're going to be printing it, but that'll be bleed down there, so it won't be pressing. So I'm going to link these two layers so they move together now. And let's put those in a group. Let's do new layer mask and gradient here. I need to make sure I have my foreground color to transparent. Select it, and there we go. Now here's another thing you can do when it comes to these all overs. Let's say, for instance, and Carol, this will be good for you. So as a matter of fact, let's do it this way. Because the 4X, 5X, it costs more to print those bigger sheets. I believe it goes from a $14 sheet to a $21 sheet because it adds an extra foot of printing. So let's do this. Let's see if we can make this a design that basically only will take up a 36 by 44 even when it's on a 5X. Does that make sense? So then that way we keep this white up here, and this should still be able to fit on a 36. We're going to test that theory in just a second. I'm all about form, function, and budget because I want to be helping you all save money too. Let's see. So that's where our sky is. I see a little bit of extraneous stuff right here, so I'm going to go to my layer mask and clean that up. And Carol, the same process that we're doing to bring this over to an adult size is what we do for a kid size. Now, do you want to do kids all overs? Because you could tile it and get them like that. Just let me know. Oh, thank you for the super chat too, Carol. I appreciate it. And the price list, honestly, that is something that we need to do. And even if everyone has their own prices, I think it would be helpful for us to do a price list that's pretty, pretty generic that everyone can follow. And then if you need to offer discounts to someone because they're ordering, a bunch of shirts or something of that nature, you have that option. But yes, that's an excellent idea. Make sure you put it in the NA Creators group because I was supposed to do that some time ago to come up with a price list for a lot of the different items that we make. Now that we're doing the retail store, kind of that vlogging process, this will be an excellent tool to go along with that. So make sure you put it in the NA Creatives group as a suggestion or a request that we do a standardized price list, and then I want people to comment like what their typical items are and their typical prices so we can compare notes with one another. Oh, Carol, love you too, love. All right, so let me know, do we want to do anything different with this? Do I want to bring in some red or, any other elements? Because what I'm going to try to do is keep this white towards the sleeves so that hopefully, let's see, if I just create a box here and I'm going to tell it that I want the box to be 36 wide. Oops, not 13. I'm so used to doing 13 by 19. 36 wide, and I have to put inches, otherwise it's going to give me pixels. And then the height, I'm going to do 44 inches high. Say okay. And I just created a box there. And we're going to increase the size so I can see where it's really going. I'm going to take that and bring it all the way up top. So this way we can keep all of our prints the same price. So this is perfect. This is going to fit within my 36 by 44. I'm happy with this because if we keep these sleeves white, then we can just basically fade up into this area. And I'm going to turn off that 5X there. I'll put a little inner shadow on this one, just so you can see where the shirt outline is. But yeah, that's going to work out great. So this will fit on the 36 by 44. So this will work for an adult small all the way up to the adult 5X, okay? So now for the kids, that's what we're going to do next, Carol. Okay, so for the kid size, let's do that next. So same way that I downloaded the free template. Now, Carol, what's your smallest kid size? Are they youth sizes? Are they toddler? Are they onesie sizes? Let me know what the smallest youth size is. I'm going to go find my youth folder. So this is the free file on the website for the youth shirts, and I'll bring it over too, just like we did before. I'll bring it over, and that way we can get an idea of how it looks to scale. Now I'm not going to design this one on here. I just want to show you that with the youth size, the smallest youth size, see how you're not going to get that image on there? That image would actually work for a youth large. It would work for no, it would even work for a youth large because I'm still outside of my print safe area. I have the potential to cut off that date at the bottom. But I can definitely show you how to take this same thing. So I'm going to Control Z and undo that. So if this design is ready to go, then we're going to take everything here and group it. And then I'm going to pull out my guides because I don't need these. Hold down Shift, pull out my guides, put them to the top of the group so that in my group I just have my artwork. And I'll take that same group. Now this is going to be huge because when I bring it into the small template now, these files can get very, very large. So, but I can't just lock in. I can't just say that as a JPEG and bring it in because see how now my orientation is going to be different. I'm stuck with more of a square design than the longer design. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit, hit Control T so I can see the extents of my design, and pull it in. And the idea is that I'm trying to make sure that I'm still within this main printing area here. See that print safe area? If you're not doing any use smalls, then you don't need it to be within that area. You can go a little bigger than that. But if you don't know if you're doing any use smalls, it's better safe than sorry. Especially when you're getting these printed as all over prints. And someone even asked me like how many youth shirts, you can print to and all over. And Carol, I'm going to show you that too. So then that way, if you wanted to do some of the youth shirts as all over, they're definitely easier to press. I can show you how many we can get to a page. Okay, so I'm happy with that being about where the text goes. We hit enter now to lock in that transformation. And then I'm going to put on a white background layer because this checkerboard really does throw you off if you're trying to see how the design looks. So this is basically how a small would have very little of that diamond plate that shows up, or the extra small. Extra small is pretty much like your 5'6", kind of like a 5'6" So technically, you probably won't have a lot of extra smalls. You'll probably be running into your toddler sizes there. So yes, you do have youth small, medium, and large. So I'm gonna zoom in so you can see where youth small is. So youth small is right here. So basically, if we were printing this out, this youth small would have a little bit of this diamond plate at the bottom, which would be perfect. And I'm gonna turn off that so you see how it would function. All right, and before I do anything else, I was going to, let me just see if I can do a red abstract. I'm trying to see if it's something red that I can bring in without like making red clouds, because it kind of does something to me when I see red clouds. I don't want to do paint splashes or anything like that. I'm looking for something kind of abstract but still masculine. I want to keep that masculine energy. You can always do something like that. I want to show you how you can take different design elements. Just because something is a remembrance shirt doesn't mean you always have to stick with the same design elements. And I think I liked this one. And I don't know until I put it together. So sometimes I think I like something, and then as soon as I get it in place, I'm changing my mind. Or it might give me a different idea. And I do have a VecDZ subscription that I never used. Just showing y'all part of the process. Let's look up red abstract. See what we come up with. I also wanted to have a clean design presence. I don't want it to look like too cartoony or elementary. I want it to be nice, elegant, and still have a bold design flair. And let's see, did that one download? Let me see if one of my first instincts is going to be the best. Extract. Of course, it's going to pull up an Illustrator. Now, Illustrator opening with Photoshop is almost a guaranteed disaster, but we're going to see. And some of these, even if it's not red, if I like the way it looks, I'll just change the colors of it. So I want you to keep that in mind too. I might be typing in red abstract, but if I find something else abstract that I like, then I'll change it over to what I want it to be. And I did want to check out these waves and see if I like those. This is probably something spammy. Let me see. Okay, that's decent enough resolution. And sometimes you can look up wallpapers and get really nice resolution images. You just have to be aware of what you intend on using it for. Are you printing a full size backdrop style banner, or standard size t-shirt all over. And the quality of the graphics in will be the quality of the graphics out. I'm just bringing that in, and then I'm just going to show you a little something, like, because I kind of feel like there's not a lot of red balancing in the design, and I'm still going to keep this top up here white, because like I said, I'm going to save you some money by doing this design to where it doesn't have to be printed on the all over extended size, which is the 44 by, basically it's a 44 by 60. It's a 4 by 6 instead of a 3 by 4. So that's why it costs a whole, I think, $7 more per print. All right, let's see. Now this is not a PNG, so I'm just gonna work with what I have. Put a layer mask on there. I'm gonna kind of clean up the edges here. I'm previewing it right now. This isn't my actual design yet. And in order for me to preview, I have to be able to visualize. So I'm going to put it on maybe multiply. Bring it below. Put it in my design group. And what I'm trying to see here is if this is something that, if this is a design element that I want to keep, that I want to kind of bring a little bit of red balance into here, or what I want to do. I also have brushes I use often. And I want you to keep in mind that I know this, looks really large, but even on the 5X, you're going to lose all of this bleed area. So on a small medium, you'll get that, but you're not going to see all of this color everywhere that you take it. So let's go back to normal. And I'm just kind of painting away. I definitely want to make sure that I don't put anything on those sleeves, because remember we said we were going to kind of keep that from being an added expense. And I'm not deleting anything here. I'm just literally brushing away a little bit of the background because it wasn't a PNG. And I have ways of taking it down too without necessarily roughly taking that out. So let's Control T, transform that a little bit. And that's one variation. So let's see the other one. Now this one's vector, so you should have a lot more play in this one. But I'm just going to delete all the white that I can. Now this is a whole nother program, so I don't plan on teaching Illustrator anytime soon, but if there was enough interest, I probably could. But I'm still learning Illustrator myself. I don't do a lot of vector-based design. I stick to my Photoshop. But even I have to learn new things. So I'm going to take this, Control C, I'm going to copy it, and then I'm going to bring it over, turn this off, Control V, I'm going to paste it as a smart object so it keeps its vector ability. And then I'm going to see if I like this. As an element. Let's see. Multiply. And see, like I said, red is a kind of hard design for me sometimes with Remembrance, unless I'm using roses or something that, whether I really want to use that in the design or not. Now, I'm stretching the mess out of this right now, but I'm just trying to get an idea whether that's something I want to see. Both of these will bring this above, just above the diamond plate. I'm thinking more of the wavy one as a little motion. And we'll take the text here. One, and where's my date there? 1, 2. So we need the date and the name. I'm looking for Dean. Where are you, Dean? Probably right there. There we go. There's Dean. I'm going to go ahead and group those. So if I want to add like a drop shadow or anything, or a stroke, then I can do it together. Make it stand out. All right, so let's get an idea of the design now without all the lines and stuff. I can use a little more balance to my clouds back here. There we go. And now this one, because we're not printing the sleeves, like y'all keep this in mind, because we're not printing the sleeves and it's pretty much white right here, an all over design for this would be very, let's see, I'm gonna just select this area here. That's a 23 by 27, so I can get 2 of these to a 36 by 44. So keep that in mind. When you're putting those sleeves in there, you can optimize your designs by letting the sleeves stay white and still doing all over from side to side to the shirt. That's another opportunity for you. Okay, let's see. So what about the truck of the hood? Are you saying put the design on the hood of the truck, like the red design? And this needs to be scaled a little bit. Definitely this drop shadow is too much. Put name and date here. Oops, I guess I have my caps lock on. Name and date. All right. So this is the 13 by 19 carrot. I'm going to go ahead and make sure that whatever changes we do, that I'm going to make them across the board. So technically, I usually work on the all over first, and then I break it down to a 13 by 19. Then that way, if I have some of the elements, like I might want the diamond plate. Matter of fact, I have the diamond plate here. So I'll take the diamond plate and let's pull it down here. And make that full opacity. And I'm going to delete that layer mask so we can make a new one just for this. Control T, make sure it's not hanging off. There we go. And then I'm just going to fade this off from the top up here. And then if I fade off too much, I can always come back with my white and bring it back. So then that way maybe the 13 by 19 prints match a little bit better with the all over if we're going to add certain elements. So let's see. Now this truck, I don't think this is going to be a good truck to try to change the colors of, honestly, because it's going to take a little work to do that. And I can show you an example of how I would do that. Let me get a pen tool. Because it's all pretty much grayscale, I would have to map out what part of the truck, and I'll give you an example. Like let's say I'm going to color this part of the truck. Maybe not the steps there, but I'm going to come in and color that. Then I have to take out the wheel well. I'm not doing a really neat job of doing it right now. I'm just showing you what I would do if I were changing the color of the truck. I'm doing it in a kind of crude way right now because I would have to take out the windshield and all that stuff. But yes, there are red trucks. I would probably just find a red truck, to be honest with you. Some things are worth doing, some things aren't. Let me go to the truck so I can show you. I'm going to go ahead, go back to my pen tool. Pen tool. Let's go ahead and make that a shape. And then I can color it and place it, let's place above. And then instead of a stroke, I wanted to have no stroke, but a fill instead. There we go. So yeah, in order to make this truck red, I would have to go back, make sure my edges were all cleaned up, take out the windshield, take out the headlights, maybe take out the chrome in the front there a little bit. It is possible. But if that's the case, then what I would do is I would just look for reds in my truck, if that makes sense. We gotta close that out. So you give me your input. Do you want to do a red truck? If so, then we'll look that up. And right now, just real quick, I am updating the contents for the live interactive course for the socks because I need to put the new PSD file on there. Upload. Give me just 1 second, because if I don't do it now, I'll forget and people will be purchasing this course, and I had to update one of the Zoom links on there. So just updating it right now. I like this platform for developing courses. I really like it. It's called Podia. For those, so I know other people are probably interested in this type of setup too. Even if you had to like really teach classes, I know a lot of teachers now are having to learn how to be online instructors, which is not the same thing. To create online content and online learning modules versus in-person learning is totally different. So yeah, that's live now. I saved it. Yes, and you said you need some newbie classes. Well, I got something for you, love. That's what we were just talking about earlier. Remind me before I finish Carol's design, because I want to get Carol's design done. And it remind me to talk about the membership, because the membership, you get 4 classes a month with your membership. Normally these classes are $50 each, and you also get templates that come with it. Like, you're going to be prepared to make money doing this stuff within the first week. The first week you get 4 classes, and then every week after that you get an additional class. So you jumpstart with 4 classes, 4 templates that will keep you in the game. Like, everything that I learned, I'm putting into modules and trying to teach it to you all. And all of the 100 level courses are all beginners. Okay. All right. So let's see. Let's see, Carol, if you wanted to let's find a red semi truck. And then my thing is, I'm going to go to my tools, go to my settings. I'm going to do an advanced search because I want to find PNGs if I can. So in image type, I'm sorry, not image type, file type. I'm going to put in PNG, and you can even put, see how it says this color? I'm going to choose red. And then that way I could take red out of my description. And I'm literally searching for images with the color red in them. That's what that advanced search does. Well, look at that. There are some red ones. I think that one of the first ones that popped up is probably one of the best ones. Let's see. Oh yeah. Let's open image in a new tab because I want to make sure these things be lying. They are not PNGs. Looks like that is the original version of it. I'm going to click on it and see if it wants me to get some kind of virus trying to grab it. Because that's what all these websites are about these days, trying to trick you into putting something on your computer. And I know, see, it's not even letting me right click, so it wants me to click on one of their buttons. Definitely don't click on these things that look like spammy buttons. And I'll show you once you do download something how you can use your software to see if it's spammy. Let's see, resize. There it is. Download PNG for free. We're gonna see. Right click, and I'm gonna save this. But before I open it, I will right click. I will show it in the folder. Right click, and usually you have something that you can scan it with. So I'm gonna scan it real quick. It'll do a quick scan. Scan now. Oh, it says no current threats. That's what it says. But hey, it is what it is. So we're gonna take this and place it into our. I'm gonna put it into the all over. Like I said, usually I design my all overs first. Okay, and then we'll change the scale of it, and that does definitely add a little more red into it. So let's do this. Now, sometimes I'm a little scared to transform it because it'll make words go backwards. So then what we'll do is we'll transform it and then put the photo on the other side. Because I would hate for this to like have a certain brand name on the hood, and then when we flip it, it doesn't have the brand name anymore. So where's the truck? Truck, where are you? There you go. So I'm going to turn off the previous semi-truck. Let's put back on our guides there. Make sure we're kind of staying centered. We'll take the photo. that you wanted on the truck. Let's take that photo. What is the name of this photo? I should have named the photos. So this one, I'll name it photo 2. And we'll make the truck a little bit bigger. Well, no, we'll just make the image a little bit smaller because it still has to go on the 13 by 19. So just a little bit smaller. And there's your red truck. All right, so I'm going to ask you keep or take away now. So now we're getting into our elements and whether we're really done. Okay, so this is for your 5X. We'll zoom in, we'll turn off all of this extra stuff now. And then I'm going to get our text here, name and date. And this is what I was saying, it's really important to go ahead and do all your design at once and then bring them into your different template sizes because you don't want to be doing this over and over again. So I'm going to bring my name and date all the way to the top. There we go. And I should be saving as I'm going along. So let me make sure File Save As if I want to save as an alternate version. So I'm going to save this in my client files. Okay, so I'm still trying to determine whether we're going to use this red or not. So Carol, let me know how you feel about it. If you want to use the red, if you don't want to use the red, let me know. And I'll work with it accordingly. However you feel. Like I said, I want to incorporate the red. This does remind me of like trucking style graphics, but I don't want to make the clouds red. That's just my preference. If you want to make the clouds red, let me know, and I will show you what it looks like. It's just something that I don't gel well with. And then I'm going to bring white back because I want to bring that hard line color back here and right here. Okay, yes, use the red. Yeah, I think that kind of grounds that red in the design. And then let me see what I want to do with this text here. Let's see if maybe we can do kind of a Oh, I know we need to do this to the individual layers. So stroke. I'm trying to see if we want to add like a little chrome stroke to it. You know, I have to do all kind of extra stuff. Gradient, let's go with now let's see. So add a little chrome. I'm gonna do white. Is there a linear version? Let's do normal. Trying to do something that makes that text kind of pop out a little bit. So I'm still playing with it right now. Oh, excuse me. And let's go back to the second stroke. Blend mode is on normal. So let's copy this layer style and paste it on the other one, and then we're going to back up a little bit, see what it looks like. And a lot of times in order to make my gradients look a little more 3D, I will add the same exact stroke with the same exact gradient, and then I'll just change the angle of the second gradient to make it look like it's kind of like beveled metal. So this one stroke, let's do 10, and then the next one we'll do maybe 16 and change the angle of that gradient. There we go. And I even make it a little bit smaller. All right, so I was trying to make the text kind of look like the red shininess of the truck. Like I said, I sometimes do a little too much. So let me know if it's too much, and I'll adjust it per your preference. Right now I'm just making the text a little bit bigger, trying to make it as big as we possibly can without getting to the possibility of losing any of it. Still letting it look substantial enough on the smallest to the largest shirt. That's always a balancing act. You want it to look big enough on the biggest shirt, but you want it not to get cropped off if you put it on a smaller shirt. So I think that works for, this is the adult size, all the way up to a 5X. Yeah, I like the red. I think the red truck does add, because I was looking at it was so blue in the middle, and I needed something to kind of like ground that, that color. So yeah, I like the red that is in there, but we didn't have to make the clouds red, and that makes me happy. Let's see, anything else that you want to do to this? Because what I can do now is pretty much just apply the same text treatment here. And as a matter of fact, let's go ahead and grab the name and date from here. Now my problem is if I drag and drop this into the smaller image, it's going to give me some issues as far as scaling, more than likely, even though I tell it that I want to scale. If I go to image size, you'll see there's an option up here to scale the styles. So technically, oh, this is supposed to be 150 dpi. So Carol, I'm gonna change that for you too. 72 dpi is typically what you're gonna use if you're doing what do you call it? More of your web graphics. Print, you want to do 150. You don't even have to do 300. Everybody thinks you have to do 300 dpi. It's not necessary for sublimation. Let's see, name, date. So I have that here. I'm going to bring that all the way to the front. And we're going to replace our existing name and date. Let me see what happens. If it looks weird when I scale it down, then I'm going to turn it into a smart object before I scale it down. Yeah, see, and that's what it's doing. Even though I tell it to scale, I think that it's gonna look way too thick when I make it smaller. Let's just see. I won't know until I press enter. Yeah, that's too thick. So I'm gonna Control Z, and then I'm just gonna turn this into a smart object. So if you need to edit this, you'll have to double click it to take it out of Smart Object. But Smart Object is gonna preserve everything as I see it. So then that way when I scale it down, see how it's maintaining the same drop shadow, the same ratio of the outlines. It doesn't look weird when I scale it down. All right. So there we go. Now we have the 13 by 19 version that matches the, oh, we've got to bring our red over. So let's try that. Let's bring that over and see what that looks like. And I'm going to bring it all the way to the back, above that. Cool, cool, cool. Control T. Now this layer is huge in the back, so I have to zoom all the way out to get to the extent of it. And like I said, the 13 by 19 design, you're just not going to see everything that you'll see in a larger version, but you'll still be able to get some really good elements from the all over design so that it matches your 13 by 19. I'll grab my paintbrush here, and I'm just going to make sure I have black selected first. And see how I'm already losing a lot of that red? And then we're going to change that truck out too. So we'll change the truck with the photo on it. And then I'll take all of that, and I'm not going to save what we did to the youth shirt here. As a matter of fact, let me just go ahead and delete all of this out. We'll start fresh. And I'll show you how we would have done it once we had a completed design. All right, so what else? What else? Let me show you how to just make this a straight up 13 by 19, if that's okay. I'm going to save this as is because we did a lot of work on that. But let me show you how, if you designed it one time as an all over, how you just convert it to a 13 by 19. So I'm going to go find one of my masks here, my layer masks. My grunge masks, they always come in handy. And as a matter of fact, I will probably do a tutorial. That's a class we need to do. Just how to use these types of masks. And come on, baby, pull up. Got too many files on this thing. Okay, so it's thinking. Okay, so these are some of my masks that you can create them with paintbrushes. You can find masks that already exist. Let's see, I think I recently created that one. This is more of like a paint splash one, but I also have one that is more like clouds. This one's more like clouds, and I can duplicate it, or I can turn off that grungy layer to pretty much see how it has the clouds in it. So I think that's the one we're going to use. So I'm going to take this, bring it over into my all over trucking design. And I'm just going to size it. It doesn't matter right now as long as everything fits, then we're going to be great. I'm going to bring this all the way to the bottom. And this kind of lets me know if I'm centered about my graphics here. Trying to get that going on. If I turn on this this grunge layer mask, you see how I get the little spots in it? It just makes it look like it's more like of a antique version of it. So I'm gonna disable that layer mask because I want the actual full cloud effect without the grunge parts missing. So I can actually just delete that layer mask. And then I'm going to take everything graphic related, which is my group 8, and I can get rid of that gradient fill. We don't need it. So I'm going to take my cloud layer. I'm going to control click on the icon. So it selected all of these active pixels. Then I'm going to go to my group 8 and I'm going to create a new layer mask. So it just created a layer mask based on that cloud that I had in the background, or that cloud mask that I had created. Now if you see here, we have a nice like faded off image here with everything included. That is technically a 13 by 19 orientation, but not necessarily a 13 by 19 size. So if I have this design where I want it, and let's say in this regard, I may want to make this main image a little bit bigger to fit the 13 by 19, then I would take those elements and move them. So I'm not going to make this a 13 by 19 yet until I get the go ahead that we're ready to do that. So let me disable that layer mask, turn everything back on, and Carol, you let me know if this is good to print. So I'm going to take off any of this extra stuff, including this rectangle right now. And that's basically our 5X design. Let me know what you think. Okay, great, great, great. I know there's a little delay. Will the white stroke on the name show up when you sublimate it? So as long as you're sublimating on white, it will look exactly like it looks on the screen. So wherever you see the white stroke, it'll pop off, the same way it's popping off the screen right now. If you, of course, do this on another color shirt, like let's say you do it on a baby blue shirt or a yellow shirt, then of course, wherever you see white, it's going to show up the color of the shirt. But yes, the white will pop off like that. If you don't want it to do that, you can change it to a different stroke color. I don't know, it's just a habit of me using these white strokes because to me it makes text kind of stand out from the background, sort of like a sticker effect. But that's a good question, Max. You thinking not to make the truck red? Well, I'll tell you what, Carol, before we make this into the youth size and the 13 by 19, do you want to take a screenshot of it and send it to the customer? Or because I can show you what it looks like with and without the red truck. So let's turn the red truck off and put the white truck on. And then of course we'll move the photo depending on which one you want to do. You want to do the white truck instead? Now the white truck, we have red in the design now, so we have a red balance top and bottom. So you don't have to do the truck red, but that is completely up to you. So that's red truck, that's white truck. And just let me know which one you want to go with, and I can. Um, I see what you're saying. So the shirt that you already made has a white truck, so you want to go ahead and keep it consistent with that. I definitely understand. And what I would do if you made a new version, let's say the new version is new and improved, and she's bringing you a 20 shirt order, go ahead and make the wife the upgraded version for free. And I know it sounds like a lot, but I'm saying like for the 13 by 19 version, then she feels like she got an upgraded version. Then everybody else won't have an upgraded version, and she has the old version. Plus, she's already bringing you business, so she'll probably bring you more business uh, the more you make her feel good. So if it's a 13 by 19 print, you're talking about, a $4 blank shirt, and as long as it's like a standard size shirt, $4 blank shirt, and less than $1 for a print that you can make her happy, and still have a very dynamic design that looks like she got an improved version. That way, she doesn't feel bad when the other 20 people that she ordering for, if they got a better version of the shirt than she did. That's just my opinion. Um, So you let me know either way it goes. As a matter of fact, you're gonna have all these layers, but I just need to know what to print as far as for the all overs. So, well, and I'm also printing 13 by 19s for you. So yeah, we need to make a decision. So we're gonna go with the white, or you can do the red, and then she would feel like, hey, you incorporated the red, and now this is a different design to her because it has a red truck instead of a white truck. We go with the red. Just let me know, red truck or white truck, because there's a delay in here. And I don't want to misinterpret what you're saying you want to do. But it looks good. You did a great job fading your images off, pulling everything in like you did. It's a little tweaking and it's ready to go. Okay, cool. All right, so now let's show you how once you get everything in place, we're going to save this. So I'm going to file. We're going to save. That's going to be all over. And because I'm ready to print this, I'm going to that's the 4x 5x. I'm going to go ahead and turn on my rectangle here. And I only need it to go about this size. Here we go. I'm just going ahead and making this the format that I need to print, which a lot of you are interested in that too. Like you want to be able to have your files print ready for me. Basically, whenever you upload something to the website, it needs to be the size of the paper, which is 44 by 36, because I'm just going to straight up hit print. If I have to do any editing, then I have to charge a minimum of $15 to get your file print ready. And the whole purpose of you all doing this stuff is because you're learning how to do your own art, including your own art prep. So I know you get excited about changing out the templates, but also get excited about the fact that you don't have to pay someone to resize your art. Okay, so this should be one of those lessons that teach you, how to resize your stuff, get it ready for print. All right. So let's say if you're doing the 3x, the up to the 3x template, it already is a 36 by 44. You don't have to change anything about that. It's the exact size. You just save it as a JPEG. And once you save it as a JPEG, it's going to send to me the exact size that I need it. For instance, this one, we're basically making a 4x, 5x fit on a, what did I tell you? It was a 44 inches wide by 36. And we have to hit inches, otherwise it's going to give us pixels. So 36 by 44. Resolution is 150. And I use the color profile sRGB with the 2.1, and I do design in RGB. I don't design in CMYK. That's important for getting the colors that you want. All right, I'm done with the mask. I'm going to close that out. Not going to save that. And the great thing about this is if you design it at 150 dpi, every single time you bring it over, it will be the exact scale that you need it to be. So this is our all over for the full adult size. I'm going to show you how to break this down into a 13 by 19 now. So I'm going to save this. Turn off this layer. Make sure that my rectangle has the outline going to the outside instead of the inside. And then we're going to do file. I'm going to save this as a JPEG. Now keep in mind, this is going to work for a small all the way up to a 5X. So I no longer have to, because I did it without the design on the sleeves, I no longer have to worry about submitting a different file for the 3X and a different file for the 5X. So now I'm going to go, let's bring up the JPEG we just created. I'm going to drop it right in there. Oh, nope, it's not how it's supposed to be. Let's bring all of this over. Here we go. So this is my 36 by 44. This is exactly it. And now you can see how a 4X can fit on that now. So anything from a 3X to a 5X is going to fit with this graphic. So that's a tip, guys. If you want something that works from the smallest all the way to the largest, just fade it off to where those sleeves stay white. Best bet. All right, so I'm going to turn off, disable the layer mask. Here's another thing. If I did enable that layer mask, that same 13 by 19 style design, it would save you even more space. Let me show you what size this would be. If you wanted this to go on on any of your adult size shirts. That is, I was supposed to be paying attention to the size I was drawing. That's the 35 by 24. You can pretty much get two of those if you dropped it down to almost a 22-inch wide. So if you were printing 21 inches wide, you can get a couple of those to a sheet. Sometimes you got to be creative about how you're making something look, the impact of it versus the affordability of it. Okay, so some people may not be able to do the all over shirts, so maybe you do call it supersized prints, something that they would get an understanding that it's going to be supersized printed on there, but it's not going to be all over. So then that way you can do like a 22 by 36. That's huge, but it's not going to color the sleeves and it's going to fade off towards the size of the shirt. I think that's still well worth it rather than just having a 8 by 10 or even a 13 by 19 in the middle of the shirt. So get creative. See what your customer, the market will tell you what it wants. I promise you, every single time the market will tell you exactly what it wants. So I'm going to take this rectangle, make it white on the inside, no outline on the outside. Disable the layer mask. Rectangle goes underneath. Now I'm just making this a, I need to just go ahead and delete this layer mask because I don't need it for here. I'm going to just merge all of these layers since we said we have it how we want to. Now it's time to make the file small enough to email because you can't be sending me big old Photoshop files because you'll be frustrated how long it takes to load it. So now we're merging it into basically a JPEG. I'm going to right click and create a clipping mask. So what it did was it clipped that all the way down to this square here, this rectangle. And this is my 44 by 36 that's ready to print. And even now I can right click on this top layer and I can let's see, I should be able to merge down. It's not letting me merge down. There we go. Create a smart object there and let's go ahead and just rasterize that. So now my image is exactly within my parameters and I'm ready to print that. So file, save as. I'm going to call this one the final JPEG and this is a 44 by 36. That's it. Now, of course, we have to make the youth version. Which technically, if I have this already merged, if I bring it over onto my youth, I'm going to see if it works. Control T, without having to do all the elements all over again. And you see how it does not work for the youth shirt? This is what I wanted to show you. I designed this to work out perfect for an adult shirt, but see how the layout of the youth shirt won't let me be great, won't let me go down here. So that merged JPEG design is not going to work for this purpose. So you have to bring over the full design over to the youth, and then you have to scale your stuff accordingly. So like I said, everything is not going to be one and done. You're not going to be able to just merge a JPEG and pull it over into a pillow, a notebook, a mask, those sort of things. Now I have my elements that are still editable. So I'm keeping my words as big as I can get them in that area. You said the smallest shirt that you're printing is a youth small. Let me drink some water here. And now I have this about to where it makes sense. All right, so now that's going to fit small. See, my small is down here. And keep in mind that the small is going to have certain elements cut off that the youth large won't. So the youth large will have more of this, of the diamond plate there. And again, we faded off good so that if we end up getting into the sleeve area, we're good. So now this is the exact size that I need it to be for the purpose of printing my youth shirt. I'm going to inch it over just a little bit so it's a little more square there. And I'm going to reduce the size of the sky down a little bit because I don't even need this much to print a youth shirt. I'm going exactly to the outer limits of the outside of my shirt. I don't need any wider than that. So anything that cuts off right here, like this sky, I'm going to clean it up, make sure it fits inside. As a matter of fact, I can just go to my layer mask there and just kind of fade it off there. So everything is working just perfect. And then even the top of my box here, I don't need it to be that tall. I just need to go right to the top of my bleed area. You know how easy it will be to press all over kid shirts? Mainly two presses and one tacky sheet, that you don't have to tape up different pieces. So this might be a good market for a lot of you to do all over kid shirts. Think birthdays, special occasions, back to school type of stuff. I think that would be an excellent thing. And plus, parents don't really like white shirts for kids. So here's a way to market them as, hey, this isn't a white shirt. This is an all over print shirt. Okay, so you have youth large and medium. So that's going to work out perfect for that large and medium. Perfect, perfect. All right, so same thing here. I'm going to grab everything all together. Now I saved this as the 44 by 36. I need to save it as the adult. And then I'll show you what it looks like to save another one for the youth. All right, so we'll bring both of these over for the youth size, and we're going to see how much different the size is. Look at how different that size is. So we can control T. I'm going to transform this and, oh, let me see. I need to change it to a smart object because it's going to make my gradients go the opposite way. So let's, and we got it whatever size we want. So let's go ahead and let's delete that layer mask. We don't need it on here right now. Let's go ahead and merge that group. And then that way, I'm keeping my red rectangle on just so I know how much print space I need. And then I'll clip it to that later. So let's see if it is possible for us to get two to a page. And I'm pushing it here. Now for doing, let's see, what size does this go up to? This is up to youth large. If I'm doing a youth medium, I can go a little bit smaller. So I can probably do, I'm trying to see if I can do two to a page. I think that's going to be cutting it a little too close. But Carol, do you need your youth designs to be all over? I thought your youth designs were going to be 13 by 19. I'm just trying to make sure because I don't want to lay this out as all over and you don't need it. But I do see you may have to do that medium and that large. It's probably not going to do two to a page unless I cut it real close and you're real careful. Or we can do, like I said, fade those off anyway. So even if it does happen to get real close to the edge of the paper or edge of the shirt, it's going to fade off versus just cut short on the shirt. So Carol, let me know if we're doing this, the youth shirts all over. Okay, so how many, I'm gonna need you to message me though, how many of the youth shirts you want it all over. Because I have 5 adult shirts all over, and I need to know how many youth size you want all over. Now, if you're doing this and you want to do, let me make a rectangle for youth medium and one for youth large. Duplicate. Now this is your own math. Now this is why I tell y'all like one size kind of fits all, because if you print it this size, you can ensure that you go from a youth medium all the way. Uh-oh, I'm hitting the caps lock. I was supposed to be hitting shift. So I'm bringing this in to just the youth medium size. So basically I'm giving myself enough bleed area here to make it to the medium, and see the difference in the medium and the large, how much bleed area difference is there. I'm gonna bring that outside and outside. Here we go. And I'll see if this works out better. All right, so let's duplicate this group. We'll merge it. Delete the layer mask. Merge it. And I'm going to create 2 versions of this. And this is what I was saying. If you can optimize what you're doing by having a print for each a print for each size. So we're going to do medium and then we'll do large. And let's see here. We'll take the rectangle. Oh, I need to change the rectangle top and bottom sizes too. Oh, they're good. That wasn't the issue. The issue was how much we need for the inside part. So let's change these rectangles up. I can change both of them at one time. No stroke, fill. I'll choose a weird color just so I can see it. And let me choose a different color for other sides, just so I can see the difference. Okay. So the medium is going to be for the burgundy. The large is going to be for the magenta. Let's go ahead and create a clipping mask. So I'm control clicking on the thumbnail here, and it's giving me my clipping mask area. And now I can get rid of the rectangles. Now I'm going to bring both the medium and the large over to my print now. I'm going to go ahead and apply the layer mask too, so I'm not bringing over anything extra that I don't need. Alright, so medium and large, let's bring it over to my print board now, and Control T to allow me to transform it, to rotate it, and I'm doing my best to see what I can fit side by side, because the printer paper is exactly 44 inches wide, so you have to make sure you're going to have clearance there. Medium, that's medium, and that's large. So technically you can't get two larges side by side, but you can get a medium and a large side by side. Does that make sense? Yeah. So, okay, cool. So I'll go ahead. I got these prepped. The last thing I'm going to do is make a 13 by 19 out of this. So let's go ahead and do that while I have y'all online. And then I'll have to get offline to get to printing, I guess. Let's see. That's our full image. The blank. I don't want to save that. I do want to save this. These are my final prints. And then the 13 by 19s. If I'm going to change this into a 13 by 19 version, I'm going to turn on my layer mask. I'm going to figure out pretty much what I want to cut off. So I'm going to grab my crop tool. Well, first let's go ahead and save this as is. Let it continue saving. Here we go. I'm going to type in 13 by 19 as my ratio at the top here for the crop. Even though it's not 13 by 19 size, it's just letting me know what the ratio is. All right, so that looks good there. I'm going to hit enter twice. I made sure that I don't have delete crop pixels checked off up there, so it won't be deleting anything outside of that area, just in case I needed anything. All right, and now I see that my orientation is a little off, so I'm going to fix that. First thing I'm going to do is do my keep on and my truck in. And this is what I was saying, just because you do it all over doesn't mean it's automatically ready for 13 by 19. And I'm actually going to bring this even above the layer mask because I want my words to kind of stand out. Oh, I forgot I had the diamond plate clipped into that text. So I'll bring that on the outside. I'll probably bring the text down a little bit, so the name and date. And then I'll increase my image here. So I'm going to select the photo. Then I'm going to shift select the other photo. Where is it? Shift select. Oh, photo 2 is what I named it. And then we're going to need the truck, which I'm guessing is that one. I'm holding down control, not shift. Okay, so when I'm selecting the image, that's D. Then I'm going to hold down shift and I'm going to get photo 2. And then I'm going to get the truck. Now what happened was while I was holding down shift, it allowed me to select the combination of those things so that they move kind of as a single unit. And I'm just taking advantage. This is my 13 by 19 print, so I'm taking advantage and making it as big as I want to make it. And then I'm going to set this in front of the words. So it kind of gives that magazine effect. So I'm putting it in front of my keep on trucking. So you know the magazine, you kind of have the head in front of the text a little bit. I'm going to go for that. And then I'll put my date. Name and date, bring that on top of everything else. So just because you create an all over does not mean that automatically creates a 13 by 19. That's not true at all, because they're different dimensions and it's different ratios. So this is more of a slender, taller design because of the paper that it's going to print on. So now I've pretty much made a coordinating 13 by 19 design. It still has the other elements from the all over shirt, but I did have to do some adjustments to make it look like it made sense for 13 by 19. Okay. So that's it. I'm going to turn off all of this extra stuff because for 13 by 19 we don't need it. And then I'm going to go File, Save As. I should have did this as soon as I started editing it. I'm going to put -13x19. So I know that that's my 13 by 19 version. And Carol, let me know if we need any changes to this one before I finalize this one. And then you can let me know, when you message me, let me know how many 13 by 19s, how many youth mediums, because there's a difference between a youth medium and youth large prints. So how many youth medium prints, how many youth large prints, and then how many of the adult all over prints. So 13 by 19, youth medium, youth large, and then adult all overs. Okay? And I'll be looking out for that from you. All right, so that's it. Let me get rid of this box. Rectangle 1, just turn it off. And this is ready to print as a 13 by 19. And another thing that I like to do is on my very back layer, I'm going to do a new fill layer. I like to put some kind of weird color. Usually it's like magenta or cyan, something that just really stands out, so I can see, am I getting anything close to those edges? Because when I print my 13 by 19s, I want it to look like it's blending into the shirt. I don't want to see any hard lines. I don't want it to look like there was a mistake and there's a hard line just popping up out of nowhere. I don't like that at all. So I'm going to keep this little weird green color on here, and then that way I can come to my layer mask, and let's say that I feel like there's something down here. I can come with my brush, clean it up, and I am for sure that there's nothing here on my background layer. Okay, so that's pretty much the extent of it. I turn off that green now, and now I can even turn off the white, and I can say this is a PNG if I wanted to. We're just going to straight up print these as JPEG, so it really doesn't matter. File, save as. Save that as a JPEG. Then I'm going to come over here to my 44 by 36. Save this as a JPEG, and this is youth medium, youth large. Put youth medium and large. And then this one I'm going to save as a JPEG. Because when you send it off, you want it to be a flattened JPEG. And then I'm going to turn off the youth sizes, and then I'm going to file, save as, a JPEG for this one, and this one's going to be the adult. And I'll put adult 5x to remind me that this goes all the way up to a 5x. And it's a JPEG, it's merged. So what I would be submitting and uploading to the website, I would have to put each file separately. So for the 13 by 19s, matter of fact, I'll do it. I'll show you the exact process. and we'll go to Design Print Services. There are some 13 by 19s. You would choose a file, and it's your responsibility to make sure it's actually a 13 by 19 now. So I just showed you how to ensure that. I'm going to choose my 13 by 19. It's going to upload, and I'm going to choose my quantity. So let's say I was doing 20 13 by 19s. I could add that to the cart. Might make me sign in. I'm not sure. Okay, so that's in the shopping cart, and I go back to Design Print Services, and then I'm going to go to my all overs. I took off the other one. There was another one that was 44 by 60, and people would get confused which one they needed. So most people are only printing up to 3X, so that's why I left this one here. So I will include the oversized one if you need it. But Carol, for you, I went ahead and designed it to where the design is not going to need that oversized paper. So let's say there's a total of 5 that you need. You're going to upload this 44 by 36. And then you're going to tell me you need 5 of those. You will add that to the cart. And then let's say for the youth, matter of fact, I'll go to the message and see. So you should definitely be able to get 5 youth mediums, and okay, that's cool. So 5, 6, 7 youth prints. So 7 youth prints, we got 2 to a page. You only need 1 large. So that means that template will definitely be work out for you. So let's choose a file. We got our 2 to a page for our youth. You only need 1 large, and the rest of them are smalls and mediums. So you'll definitely be able to do your 2 to a page. Now keep in mind, I still made my artboard the 36 by 44. You see that? I have white space up here. So it's up to you if you want to use that white space or not. I don't think it's quite big enough for us to put 13 by 19s there. But, you could also kind of be setting yourself up if you try to put stuff there. So just be mindful that you do have some space there if you wanted to. But for the most part, every single time you upload something, I don't care how much room it takes up, make sure it's on a it's on a 44 by 36 image size. Could be, or the pixel size can be 150 up to 300 DPI, or pixels per inch. Dots per inch, pixels per inch, same thing. All right, but definitely make sure that the size is right, because what happens is when I receive these files, I'm printing 44 by 36. I don't care what orientation it is. So it's got to be your responsibility. Otherwise, if I have to check it, then I have to stop. I can't do production, and I have to charge a fee for resizing it for you. Okay, so when I get things, you're pretty much guaranteeing me that it's ready to print. It's print as is. Okay. So I would, if I wanted to do 7 of them, I would have to order 4 prints. So you'll have 1 additional size there. So 4, add to cart. So let me see what the cart looks like, and let me know if this makes sense. I don't know what's in this cart. View and edit cart. I don't get a chance to go on the website often as the customer, so it does help me to do this too. All right, so you see you have your adult size was 5. So that's adult 5X. There were 5 of them. Correct me if I'm wrong. There are 5 adults. And then for the youth sizes, there are only 4 prints, but it equals, it will be able to do 7 shirts. That's just for the print only. So I will be uploading today. Like if you want us to actually do the pressing for you, it's going to be a different price. It starts at $28 for the front only. And that includes the shirt, that includes us, pressing it for you. And we'll even drop ship it. If you don't want it shipped to you, you want it shipped straight to the customer, you can put that in your comments. Okay? So just an idea of what to charge. And Carol, I know you were interested in this. I charge you all $28 to press and all over, because most of the time you have your art together. My customers, I start with the front only all over shirt for 45, because I'm usually doing some kind of art to go with it. I'm usually not just printing whatever they give me. That's kind of a given. So you are able to mark that up. And let's say if they're getting a lot of shirts, you may want to take that down. But as of right now, I don't have the discounted prices for the multiple prints. So usually if you're doing like 20 of the same or more, I'll take it down to $11 per print. But that's usually like, I had someone last week that ordered 30 of the same print, and they were able to take advantage of that discount. Okay, so I think that's it. Carol, let me know if you have any other questions. I see your list here, and I'll make sure that I have everything there. Now, I will tell you this, those 3X's, because it looks like that list kind of grew a little bit. Let's see, I have 2. Okay, let me know. Is that, I see 2X's. Yeah, Carol, I'm probably just going to need to call you and talk about this list, because I see some more adult sizes now. So they added more adult sizes. And I know those 3X's are completely out of stock anywhere. So if you need to do more than one 3X, I have some on back order right now that I'm waiting on. So I'll call you and we'll talk about that. Okay. So at least this concludes the part that would help everyone else on how to resize these images, prep them to send them to me. As you can see, it's not just a easy peasy, way of prepping these files. So when you all send me something that's not ready, it's definitely worth worth me charging to have to re-prep the files for you. Okay. Oh, the newbie class, Annette, you're amazing. Y'all want the membership? Okay, got you. All right, Carol. So Carol and Annette, I appreciate y'all, because I was sure about to get off here without going over that. So let me show you how to do that. Let's go. And I'm going to have all of the classes forwarded over to this website. So right now it's academy.innatelab.com. Okay, you'll enter the Academy website, and you'll see a few things pop up. You see the individual courses. I'm just letting you know that you don't have to do a membership in order to partake in the pre-recorded courses or the live courses. So you see the live courses there, $60. The pre-recorded courses are $50. Okay. Here's the membership options. You have 2 levels right now. One is a $30 a month. One is a $60 a month. I told you I'm listening to y'all. I heard what you said. Most of you said you could do $30 a month. The $30 a month membership, I'm still giving stuff away at that level. You're going to get access to 4 pre-recorded courses every single month. So right now, actually, when you do your first membership, you're going to get 4 courses right away. You'll get course number 101, which was us designing from scratch on a blank all over shirt. You'll get the font, you'll get the brushes, which the brush pack alone is $20. The font, the repeat mirror font, is $3. So that's a $23 file right there that you get. And then you also get the full video that we did from the live session. That full video is about 3 hours long, probably a little longer than 3 hours long. Okay, so that's what you get, and instead of $50, you're paying $30, and you get all 4 of these classes. So that's a $200 value. I'm trying to make sure that I make this something that people can afford and learn. Now you're going to be learning on your own, because you have the pre-recorded class, but you're going to be watching it at your own pace. So that's that. I'm giving you that option to kind of learn on your own. Okay, and then if you want to, you can always join a live class at an additional fee. All right, so this is 102. That one was a popular class that folks like. We learned how to put 4 different images in there, change the text, change the colors, that sort of thing. The Airbrush is probably the most popular course right now. That Airbrush course is on there, and you get the template. So every time that that these classes come out, they're going to come with something of value. So they're gonna come with a template, or they're gonna come with fonts or brushes or something that makes it well over the value of the actual recorded class too. 104, it comes with a template as well, and the video, and I believe all of these are free fonts that you download. All right, so when you join for your Innate Academy membership, you're automatically going to get access to 4 classes. Then every week, you'll get access to a new class. A new class will unlock. Okay, so this 105 class will unlock next. And if you want a class before it unlocks for you, you'll be able to see which classes are unlocking. Let's say that we're on class 120, because we're going to have a class every single week, right? So if we're on class 120 and you wanted the and you're only on 105, and let's say you want class 120, you can purchase class 120 up front if you want to get that far in advance. But most of the people that I have coming in are going to want that kind of dripped content. They're going to want, one lesson at a time, one per week, and then that way I can keep it at $30 a month. And it also has an annual membership. If you want to save, get 2 months free, you can pay for the year, and you'll get 2 months free. So instead of $360, it's $300 for the year. Okay, so I've been trying to work out deals all the way around. Now, the difference between the $30 membership and the $60 membership is the $60 membership is going to come with a free credit for any live course. So let's say you plan on taking this live course anyway. If you pay $60, it's going to give you a credit. It's going to give you like a coupon code that you can use towards purchasing any of the live classes. So let's say you don't want to learn how to do the socks, you can hold on to it and use it for another live session that we do. And we're going to do a live session once every week. Sometimes I'll be doing more than once a week, but for right now, we're going to keep it at a pace of 1 per week. Now, if you already have 3 out of 4, then basically what you're doing is you're joining just to be able to get the residual content. So like I said, every single week, for instance, this 105 course is live right now, but next week it will be the dripped course. So it will drip into your course study next week. So if you don't want to do the live, it will be included in your $30 membership. Which either way, the classes are $50 like per session. I'm going to keep them that way. But for the membership, I know that that's something that you all plan on, having recurring and that sort of thing. So it's kind of like a gym membership. If you agree to do it month to month, then I'm going to make sure you get more value than somebody who's just buying courses a la carte. Okay. You can actually go, it is active right now. You can go on there right now, and if you go ahead and start your subscription, you will get access to all 4 classes. So even if, let's say you had 3 out of the 4, right? You're still going to immediately get all 4 classes. So you'll still get 1 class that you don't have right now. I don't think anyone's done all 4 classes, but at the very least, you pay that $30 and you're going to get a $50 class at this very moment with the template. And then let's see. Oh, and then next week you'll get a new class. So that'll be a new, $50 savings that you have. You won't have to do you won't have to buy every single pre-recorded class. Okay. So the sooner you started, basically if you start now, you'll be on the same schedule as I'm teaching. So as I post new stuff, you'll get the new stuff. If you wait 2-3 months down the line, you're still going to start at 101. And then, of course, we'll be on probably like 120 by then. Right. These will not be on YouTube. As a matter of fact, I'm even going to pull the classes from YouTube, because the problem is people are sharing stuff that they're not supposed to be sharing. And unfortunately, it makes it difficult and more expensive for everyone who is really doing, what they're supposed to be doing and playing by the rules. So, it's just like anything else in life, there's going to be a black market to whatever we create. So, Annette, it is academy.innatelab.com. I'm going to put it in the comments here. That's the exact link right there. Okay, so this is pretty much going to be the way that we transition all of our courses. And then when you log in, you'll see all the courses that you have access to. Let me see if I can log in. I'm going to log in so you can see what it looks like from the back end. So from the back end, you'll see your name. You go to your products, and I can see what I ordered. So you'll get this $60 credit. So right now I have paid myself. Like I paid to be in the courses myself so I can see what it looks like from your end. And for this one, I see I got my $60 credit. Basically, let me see. I'm going to click on it off screen because I don't want to give away the code. Okay. So this is what it's going to look like when you go into it. It'll tell you your 1 month credit for the live course, and it'll drip you a new coupon code every month. So you'll get $60 credit towards any live course. So basically the SOC course is going to be free, or any other live course that I want to take this month is going to be free because I'm going to get this $60 credit. Now I can't click on it to view it because it'll show you the code. Y'all don't use that code. I seen that thing pop up. Don't use the code. I'm gonna have to change it because I don't think I'm gonna have to change it because I already know. I could tell y'all that, and it won't be y'all that's here with me right now. The people that watch me live, y'all support me. Y'all go hard for me. Y'all even tell me when somebody's doing something, out of line or out of whack. But it's a handful of folks that you can't control them. You can't do anything but kind of protect what you can protect, and let them go about how they're going to operate. So I will have to change that code because it popped. I didn't think it was going to pop up on the screen, but it did. Anyhow, let me go ahead, and I'm going to do that right now just in case some of you are purchasing. I don't want you to end up with a code that you can't use. So y'all ask me any questions while I'm doing this right now. I really want to know like your feedback, how you feel about this, what you really feel like you want to see new, because I'm going to have to come up with content every single week. So it really is going to be up to you to let me know what y'all want to learn. All right, so let me go and change my little coupon code. Oh, it doesn't matter. I guess it could only be used one time anyway. All right, so it's going to be able to be used on the products. All right, so yeah, so you have the $60 credit towards the course, and then this is what it looks like from the back end. If you have the 4 courses, you're going to automatically start with the 4 courses. See that? You have 101, 102, 103, 104, and it takes you through, that's the homework file, things that you need to have done ahead of time. Then it takes you to each of the downloadable files, including the video here at the end. Okay, so you'll be able to watch this video, and I think, let me see
For now.
if it will. Yeah, it'll let you watch it at different speeds. So some of you need to watch it at slower speed. Some of you, I like to watch my videos at high speed. So I'll watch it at higher speed. You can make it full view, and that way you can view it on one screen and work on another. Or you can pause it, go to what you need to go to, and finish watching the video. So yeah, so then this way you kind of work your way through the programs, 102, 103, etc. And what I'll probably do, I'll update it and put photos in here so you'll know what each module, what the kind of screenshot result looks like. So I'll go back to the dashboard. And I signed up. I used my credit to sign up for the live class. So this is what the live class looks like. It'll be a quiz in the beginning to see if you did all your homework. And if you didn't, like I don't have dual screen set up, then I know I need to work on that and I can retake the quiz. And next time it asks me, do you have dual screen set up? I can hit yes. All of these answers should be yes. So don't just go through and hit yes, but actually make sure that you did these things, okay? Otherwise, you won't be able to participate in the live session. If you don't have the homework done, I can't continue to make everybody else wait and suffer because someone's homework isn't complete. It's going to be your responsibility to make sure that your homework is on point before you enter into the live session. And then if you have a major problem, like let's say Photoshop just is not working with you, and or you couldn't get your photos to download or whatever the case may be, you can still watch live, but you just won't be able to participate because you'll be so far behind that I'll have to keep stopping the general flow to go back and cover topics in parts of the module that we already covered. All right, so that's my disclaimer, and I have in the in the contents too that is non-refundable. So make sure your homework is done. I'll make sure that I post and blast that somewhere else too, because I don't want to disappoint anyone, including the people who are there to learn and don't want to be held back either. So we're going to get it together. All right, let me see if y'all have any more questions for me. All right. Looks like we got a registering already. Cool, cool, cool. And let me see, can I edit? I'm trying to see if can I add you so I can edit? Yep, I can add you. I don't ever use these kind of things, so. Here we go. I mentioned your name and then I put the link. So then that way you should, I guess, be notified of it. Okay. All right, love. So I'm going to get on my grind for the day. Hopefully I'll see y'all back later this afternoon because I need to do an important announcement. I guess I'll give y'all a heads up since you're here. We have a couple of viewers here with 20 viewers. I am going to do a raffle. So we'll have raffle tickets, so you can purchase more tickets if you want. But anyone that signs up for the for any subscription, whether it's the $30 or the $60 subscription, if you sign up for the $60 subscription, it's worth 2 tickets. If you sign up for the $30 subscription, it's worth 1 ticket. We're raffling off a Eco Tank 15,000. And this is what that one looks like. It's worth 600. Let's see, they're all on back order right now. So I have one ready to go. Already filled up with sublimation ink. You'll also get an extra set of sublimation ink, which is worth at least $40. And my ink is the True ink. It's 127 milliliters, so it's more than the typical 100 milliliter bottles. And then you're also going to get some substrate. So you'll get license plates, some socks that we're manufacturing. What else did I say? Dog tags, and there'll be some youth the no-sew folded masks. There'll be some youth ones and some adult ones in that kit. Basically, just some stuff to get you started. And I'll even include a pack of 13 by 19 paper, so like you're ready to roll. Okay, so that's going to be our upcoming raffle. So anyone that does the membership automatically is entered into that raffle. And then I'll have a separate link. People who may not be interested in doing the subscription service, well, I don't know why you wouldn't do it, but I mean, I do understand, because some people don't like things that are going to like have recurring charges, and that's, totally understandable. I'm one of those type of people, but if it's something that I really want, then I'll have a membership for it. Just like if you have, a gym membership, they're not going to pretty much do month to month. And if they do, they're going to charge a lot more for month to month than they will for the automatic recurring charges. So I'll have those tickets will be available for, they'll be $20. And that's just if you don't want any content, you just want to possibly win this printer, then we'll have those tickets available for $20. So I'll have that link as well. Okay, so as a matter of fact, I'll probably just put it on the Academy website. That way people can choose between a $20 ticket and a membership. You can also purchase extra tickets. So let's say you did the membership and you want your name to be entered again, then you might do a $20 ticket as well. Okay, so I was gonna set like a minimum, like, hey, if we don't get enough to cover the cost of the printer, then I'll refund everyone. But I'm just a person, if I say I'm going to do something, I just want to do it for you. So regardless of how many people enter the competition, I'm going to make sure that someone wins this thing, even if only 2 people enter. And Vegan Life, I did see it last night. I didn't get back to it because I think you might have replied to me when I asked what the order number was. So I'll check that order. I don't know why it would have been canceled, but I'll check on that. Okay. All right. So y'all let me know. Y'all have any questions, anything that you want to bring up while you have me live before I let y'all go? Oh, and for the 15,000, y'all check out the review that I did of the EcoTank 15,000 versus the 7710s and 20s that most of us have. And then I also compared it with the 16650. Now the 16650 is a real beast. It's around $1,200, $1,300, but it prints twice as fast as this one. I would say even 3 times as fast, almost 3 times as fast when it's printing at the high resolution or high quality, not the highest or the maximum quality, but high quality. And it gives me good results. I have those results for you all too. So I'm going to show you what the different printers and different settings kind of gave me as far as the vibrancy of this tie-dye design that I did. Okay. So yeah, check out that video of the comparison if you really want to know what the 15,000 can do, what the 16650 can do versus the Epson 7710s and 20s. It is a real deal upgrade. Not having to change out those cartridges, big deal. Not having to stop in the middle of those prints and waste paper, that's a big deal. Every now and then it does print when it prints the first 2 or 3 lines of one of the first prints will be bad, and that's just because it's not prepared to like immediately start jumping off with the highest quality. So I might have 1 out of my 100 set of prints that are bad just because of that first line. Okay, that's it. As opposed to 7710, if I try to print 100 prints on it, I can guarantee you at least 10, 15 of those sheets are going to be messed up out of 100. That's a big difference. And that's because it's going to stop somewhere in the middle. It's going to tell me my ink is empty. Something's going to happen. It's going to start banding, those sort of things. So I haven't had those issues with these systems, but you have to run them every single day. Make sure you're using them. Make sure you're staying, keeping your maintenance up. All right, and that's part of the family. Thank you, baby. That's what's up. Okay, so let me get on with my day so I can hopefully log back on to the evening, because I hate telling y'all I'm coming back in the evening and then I'll be so pooped that I just can't do it. So I'm hoping to get back to y'all this evening with the, I'm going to show you, like I'm actually going to show you the printer, show you all the stuff that come with it. I'll do a video showing you all the stuff that's going to come with the raffle. And then I'll also demonstrate how we're going to press these socks to kind of get y'all ready for this class tomorrow. And there was something else I needed to show y'all. Oh, my results of the printing with the different printers and the different color settings. Okay, so I have 3 major things I need to show y'all. So I need to get on the ball, and I will check in with y'all sometime this evening. Welcome, y'all, welcome. And Vegan Life, I'm going to check on your stuff like now, like right now. Okay? All right. I love you all for real. Bye, Carol. I will call you after I check on Vegan Life's email, okay? All right. Love y'all for real. Bye.